Good God. Seriously, there's something screwy going on. The FBI paid a Russian to lie about Trump. This is the idea that this guy was the source, the single source for all of the pee-pee tape stuff. So there's been a big push that this guy that they busted that Durham has filed charges against. The guy has also the Durham the Durham charges against him. He's pled not guilty, but nobody is saying alleged around this fucker. So yeah, I'm afraid right now. This is a lot of collagen. It's a lot of there's a lot of botox and stuff going on. This is a very it's like she has the same face crew that Eric Bolling has, but she's on allegedly she's on Rob Schmidt's show. And this, what is it? Oh my gosh, hold on. Chip wants to say hi. He's going to need to save us from this real quick. You guys, Chip wants to say hi to you guys. What are you doing, buddy? What? What is it doing under the door? I got a show to do, silly boy. I got a show to do. What are you doing? What's happening? What's a boy? Do you want some love? What are you doing? What are you doing under my door? What are you meowing? Everybody can hear you. I gotta do a show and then he's like, he knows when I'm supposed to be off the air. He just knows. He's like, it's supposed to end normally this time, but since I start later on Thursdays, he's like, what the hell, dude? What's the chip doing? All right, here you go. Can I give you a snack in a little bit? Thank you. All right. Thank you. Hang out. He's like, what? Why are you shutting the door? What the hell? What the hell, dude? This is the lost my. I jump up to go get my cat, and then I end up having to pull my headphones out, and it's a thing. And I'm embarrassing Chip. He knows the snacking rules now. They have internal clocks. They sure as shit do. All right, here. Speaking of internal clocks, let's go back to something that'll make you lose your appetite. I mean, honestly, I just feel like I'm about to be asked if she could see the manager.
Joins us tonight. Good to see you again. So the same FBI.
So nobody else was available, or
FBI, literally some of the same agents who worked to discredit the Hunter Biden laptop, knowing that it doesn't exist, was real.
No, it isn't.
No,
it isn't. Ask Eric Bolling. He had John Paul McIsaac on. There is no laptop.
Russian to lie about Donald Trump, knowing that they were lies.
That's not even the allegation Durham's making, but go ahead.
Am I getting this correct?
It's unbelievable.
No.
I mean, it's enough about investigations. How about some accountability?
Yeah, I mean, honestly.
This is outrageous. It was, Russia, spying on the president.
No, he wasn't spied on.
Wiretapping Trump Tower.
No. He was in that meeting with the Russian woman who was trying to get the Magnitsky Act scuttled. And Trump was present on that call or on that meeting via a phone call. Jared basically had him on his phone, so he wouldn't be physically in the meeting, but he could talk with him.
Impeachment, the Mueller investigation, January 6th.
Yes, we know he was criming before he got in office. He was criming all through it. He managed to get away with some of it, and he isn't now.
And now this, and I'm glad that Durham got to the bottom of it. But
well, he's been at the bottom for the whole time.
Can you even imagine that the FBI, which is supposed to be a trusted institution,
it is,
in the United States government, went ahead and paid a Russian source to lie about a duly elected president
Yeah, that's not why they were paying him.
Try to undermine him and remove him from office. Yes, I'm talking about this happening in the United States of America.
Oh, good. Okay. I thought you were talking about the Qatari FBI. My mistake.
Not China, not Russia.
Well, it wouldn't do much good over there. I mean, they're more favorable to him.
Not North Korea. Can you even believe what?
Well, no, he's obviously Kim Jong-un would do this to Donald Trump. They fell in love.
We're hearing today.
Yeah.
Yes, I can believe I'm hearing it because you guys have to distract from the fact that he stole classified documents, and he may even still have more of them at Bedminster, and possibly now they're gonna have to go look at the DC property where he just was, and of course at Trump Tower.
And the astonishing thing is not that they paid somebody to lie, but that they were aware that the information that they were getting were lies. And
is that even the allegation? Hold on. Now I'm confused where they're getting their talking points from. Durham, Russian, FBI, whatever. It'll be okay. John Durham investigator enters the final stages. Crime appears to wind down as grand jury expires. Bar first, Igor Danchenko, Steele dossier. Okay, so here's the National Review's version of this. So this will be their take on this. Here you go. Main Steele dossier source was on FBI payroll as confidential informant, Durham reveals. Or alleges, I suppose. Igor Danchenko, a primary contributor to the Steele dossier. Not the. That's interesting. Source was a main Steele of multiple mains, but a primary contributor. All right. Was hired by the FBI as a confidential informant in 2017. Special counsel John Durham revealed in a new court filing. The Russian national was ultimately charged in 2021 as part of Durham's probe of Trump-Russia investigation. He's accused of lying to the FBI regarding his sources for some claims in the Steele dossier. The charges focus on statements Danchenko made related to the sources he used in providing information to an investigative firm in the United Kingdom. The new filing, all right, let's look at it. Open link in new tab. Come on. Here we go. Let's see. This is U.S. versus Igor. Why? Because we love him. Danchenko. Criminal case. Filed under seal and yet not. Okay, here we go. He's going to file this. Government notes that information set forth below is unclassified and has been provided to the defense in pretrial discovery. Okay, here you go. Factual background. The defendant is charged in a 5-count indictment called the indictment. Stop me if I get too technical. With making materially false claims to an FBI official in violation of Title 18 United States Code, Section 1001, as set forth in the indictment. On July 31st, 2016, the FBI opened an investigation known as Crossfire Hurricane into whether individuals associated with Donald J. Trump presidential campaign were coordinating activities with the Russian government. Beginning on or about July 2016 and continuing through there. Okay. FBI began receiving a series of reports from former British government employee and alleged lover of Ivanka Trump, Christopher Steele, and his firm Orbis Business Solutions, heretofore called Orbis, that contained derogatory information on then candidate Trump concerning Trump's purported ties to Russia. The Steele reports. Steele dossier, but okay, we'll call it the report. Earlier that year, Perkins Coie, a U.S.-based international law firm acting as counsel to Hillary Clinton, had retained Fusion GPS to conduct research on Trump and his associates. In or about June 2016, Fusion GPS in return retained Steele and Orbis to investigate Trump's purported ties to Russia. The Steele reports played an important role in applications the FBI personnel prepared and submitted to obtain warrants pursuant to the FISA warrant. Okay, that is false. That was not what. And pursuant to the FISA targeting Carter Page, United States citizen who, for a period of time, had been an advisor to then candidate Trump. Okay, they've been watching Carter Page. Fuck Carter Page. We've talked about that. Okay, over a fairly lengthy period of time, the FBI attempted to investigate, blah, blah, blah. This is just more of their story. In the context of the efforts, they learned that Steele relied primarily on a U.S. In the context of the FBI learned, okay, I don't know where they're saying that they learned this part of it. We'll see if that's debatable as well, but all right, we'll just take it as written. The defendant, Igor Danchenko, or the defendant, to collect information that ultimately formed the core allegations found in the Steele reports. Again, this is predicated on the idea, this is going to fall apart because it's predicated on the idea that this guy, by telling them stuff, is somehow lying to the FBI and related to other stuff. Okay, this has nothing to do with him lying to the FBI. As part of the efforts to determine the truth or falsity of special information in the Steele reports, the FBI conducted multiple interviews of the defendant regarding, among other things, the information that he provided to Steele. He signed the defendant up as a paid confidential human source of the FBI. The FBI terminated its source relationship with the defendant in October 2020, since Trump was going to lose anyways. As alleged in the further detail below, the defendant lied to the FBI agents during several of these interviews. First, in an interview, the defendant stated falsely that he had never communicated with Charles Dolan, who was a longtime participant in Democratic Party politics and was then an executive at a U.S. public relations firm, about any allegations contained in the Steele dossier. Specifically, he was asked, do you know Chuck Dolan? Do I know Chuck Dolan? Yeah. How long have you known him? Pause. I've known Chuck Dolan for, I don't know, a couple years maybe. A couple years? But like I've known him for like 12 years. Yeah, the defendant, yeah, he likes Russia. I don't think he is would be any way involved, but he's what I would think would be easily played. Maybe he's a bit naive in his liking of Russia. Okay, so have you ever, but you've never talked to Chuck Dolan about anything that showed up in the dossier, right? No. You don't think so? No, we talked about, related issues perhaps, but no, nothing specific. Dear God, how is he ever going to escape this linguistic trap? I know, if you need to sit down, everybody, please. I'm going to need a moment. I hope there's a writer for Law and Order watching, because this is riveting. The government intends to prove at trial that, in fact, the defendant sourced at least one specific allegation in the Steele report anonymously to Dolan. Dolan's role as a contributor to the Steele reports was highly relevant and material. Okay, Dolan maintained a relationship with several high-ranking Russian government officials who appeared in the Steele reports. Dolan maintained a relationship with another of the defendant's alleged subsources. Dolan was present in Moscow with the defendant when the defendant allegedly gathered some of the information reflected in the Steele reports, and Dolan's historical and ongoing involvement in Democratic politics had the potential to bear on his reliability, motivations, and potential bias as a source for the Steele reports. Second, the defendant stated falsely over several interviews that in or about late July, he received an anonymous phone call from an individual who the defendant believed to be Sergei Milyan, a naturalized U.S. citizen who at the time was president of the Russian-American Chamber of Commerce. The defendant also falsely stated that during this purported phone call, one, the person he believed to be Milyan informed him in part about information that the Steele reports later described as demonstrating a well-developed conspiracy of cooperation between the Trump campaign and Russian officials, including the fact that the Kremlin had been cultivating Trump for years, and that the defendant and Milyan agreed to meet in New York in late July. The government expects to prove at trial that the defendant, in fact, never received a phone call or any information from Milyan, and the defendant never made agreements to meet with Milyan in New York. Rather, the defendant fabricated these facts regarding Milyan. As alleged in further detail below, these lies were highly relevant material to the FBI because, among these reasons, the information allegedly provided by Milyan was an important part of the FISA application targeting Carter Page. Yeah, but the question becomes, I debate that, but even if it was true, would removing those elements of what that guy said have anything to do with the fact that Carter Page was a cultivated courier for under Manafort going for the Trump campaign? That he was basically a go-between. That he was too stupid to trust with any real messaging. God damn, this is boring. Applicable law, blah, blah, blah. Where's the evidence must be relevant to an issue. Okay, the defendants, relevant facts. In June 2016, the defendant reported, this is boring, isn't it? I'm sorry. Reported to Christopher Steele certain allegations regarding Donald Trump's reported sexual activity at the Ritz-Carlton, Moscow. The Steele report reflecting these allegations was dated June 20th, 2016. That report states, among other things, that Source D, described as a close associate of Trump who had organized and managed his recent trips to Moscow, had confirmed that Trump had engaged in lurid sexual activity at the hotel. The report goes on to say that the Ritz-Carlton allegations have also been confirmed by Source E, a senior Western member of staff at the hotel. That's the guy who speaks German, but who was a manager there, who everybody's like, well, he doesn't even speak Russian. Fucking matters. In his January 2017 FBI interview, which occurred in D.C., the defendant claimed that he had sourced this information in part while staying at the Ritz-Carlton Moscow in mid-June 2016 during a planning trip for a future business conference. The defendant had been invited to attend this planning trip by Charles Dolan. While during the January 2017 interview, the defendant asserted to the FBI that he had been a guest at the Ritz-Carlton during 2016. In a subsequent interview, he acknowledged that he had visited but not stayed at the hotel. Dun, dun, dun! In his January 2017 interview with the FBI, the defendant also claimed that he had inquired about the Ritz-Carlton allegations with hotel staff who did not deny their veracity. The defendant also informed the FBI that he reported the names of these hotel staff to Christopher Steele. In subsequent May 2017 FBI interview, the defendant again confirmed that he had spoken with hotel management about the Ritz-Carlton allegations. In that interview, the defendant also stated that Source D, the purported source of the aforementioned sexual allegations, could be referring to Sergei Milyan. The government has interviewed and expects to call to trial the then general manager of the Ritz-Carlton Moscow, Bernard Kulin, a German citizen who does not speak Russian. That's the point they've been doing. And whom the Steele reports describe as Source E, a senior Western member of the staff at the hotel. Kulin does not recall ever meeting or speaking with the defendant in June 2016 or at any time. Mr. Kulin also denied having knowledge of the Ritz-Carlton allegations at any time prior. Well, he may be afraid of falling out a window. There's a tendency amongst hoteliers in Russia who don't toe the line. So there you go. And it's not like Russia's ever killed someone inside Germany in a park by spraying poison in their face. What's the worst that could happen? He could just end up mysteriously hacking up his whole family and hanging himself. Discussing such allegations with or hearing them from the defendant, Mr. Cullen also has confirmed to the government and will testify at trial that he was the only Western member of management at the hotel in June 2016. In short, the government intends to prove at the trial the defendant falsely sought to attribute the Ritz-Carlton allegation to Mr. Cullen and, as referenced before, to Sergei Milyan as part of his work on the Steele reports that are described in the indictment. Okay, sourcing these two things in the actual Steele documents aren't germane to this case. You can lie to other people and the FBI can't charge you with lying to the FBI. If you lie to someone and they repeat what you said to the FBI, you're not in trouble for that lie. They are. Sort of. As a matter of fact, that would probably let them off the hook. Nobody's in trouble. This is fucking stupid. I have to look at the MTG story. All right. I want to say, okay, hold on. Real quick. We're on a side note, we're going to take a little cul-de-sac here. Is that on Twitter? Where are you seeing this? Here we go. Here we go. Rep MTG. Yeah. This is the. Here we have Rep hold on, this is so you can try that. Here we have Rep MTG telling my friend and badass Gen Z organizers anyway, Santiago Mayer, who happens to be an immigrant to this country, to leave the country, and kicking Mariana Pecora. Where's the kicking part go? Let's see. We're following it along. Very exciting. August, she's being filmed and it's annoying, and then she stops and they're holding, and there's this argument's going on with somebody else, and then they've left her behind, and then she's walk. Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to call that like the girl's slowing down in front of her. I'm not going to call that a full kick. I'm not going to do it. I mean, she's awful. I mean, what you do is you stop and let them walk ahead and you go, nice try. But yeah, it's a stumble, not a kick. I'm not going with it. It's fine. I mean, she's an awful person. I don't need to hunt for things to make her awful. Okay, back to where we were. After MTG is just kind of a ratty person. Okay. More to come. Don't worry. Yeah, she has no manners. This we know. Let's see. On a side note, let's see. All right, there we go. All right, this is where we were. Government should be permitted to present evidence of the defendant's false statement regarding a source of the Ritz-Carlton as direct evidence of the charged crime. Nope. Lying to your employer is not lying to the government. Fuck off with this Chinese Communist Party bullshit. It's not going to work. No. The defendant's statements regarding these allegations constitute direct evidence of the charged defense because they reflect the defendant's efforts to fabricate and misattribute information reflected in the Steele reports and provide important factual context regarding the two individuals, Charles Dolan and Sergey Milian, who are the subject of the defendant's false statements to the FBI. No. First of all, the first one is we talked about these topics, but I didn't source any of the direct allegations from this guy. Secondly, the phone call idea about Sergey Milian being the anonymous phone call that he got and him believing it was that person calling him is immaterial too. Like this isn't going fucking anywhere. Hype train. Just saying for the record. Defendant's efforts to falsely attribute the Ritz-Carlton allegations to Source D, which, again, were part and parcel of the very same efforts to fabricate information that underlie false statements charged in the indictment. Bullshit. As noted above, the charged false statements include the defendant's misrepresentation to the FBI that the information he purportedly obtained from Milian came from a single 10 or 15-minute anonymous phone call that allegedly took place in late July and was the only time the defendant ever purported to have communicated with Milian. The above described evidence concerning the Ritz-Carlton highly provocative. Again, they're never going to be able to prove either way in this shit. Where was the other lie? What was the lie? Again, this evidence clearly bears directly on the materiality of the defendant's false statement as it goes to the heart of the actions the FBI might have taken had they known of Dolan's role as the source for the Steele report. Bullshit. They weren't the source. They talked about this dude was connected and may have said, you might want to look at the hotel. That's not the same fucking thing. That's not the same thing as him talking to staff or talking somebody there. This is more Durham bullshit. This is just fucking weak. It's not going to go anywhere. They're going to be so mad when this gets kicked to the curb. This dude is not going to be convicted. Seriously.
That they were using, though, they needed those lies to be.
Yeah, they totally needed those lies because Carter Page isn't a useful idiot of his own.
Able to convince judges to play the same kind of game that they're trying to play
100%.
right now with lying in these affidavits to get these judges to give them access so that they can do things to the man that was just elected president of the United States.
No, he was not elected last time. He was elected almost 6 years ago. I mean, he lost the popular vote, but.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And, this brings back everything.
Well, I agree. Everything that Rob Schitt just said is unbelievable. That's point Kimberly.
Was going on with Steele and Hillary Clinton and her campaign and now entered
who didn't push the Steele dossier at all.
This,
thought they were going to win, decided not to use it.
Infamous, notorious character of zero credibility, Danchenko, who worked in concert with them and the FBI to undermine and, in fact, lie about the president of the United States.
No, there's not even alleged in this document that he lied about the president of the United States. They're alleging that he had multiple sources, not just one source for the Milian stuff, or that he talked to Milian multiple times to be that source, and that he knew Dolan and that Dolan was the actual person who told him about the PP tape shit or the urinating on beds thing when he's basically saying we talked around what, Donald Trump being a fucking corrupt asshole, and he was going, he stayed at this hotel, and you're like, yeah, I know that too, or whatever, and you ought to go by there. At the most, that's enough of the conversation. It's just stupid.
We're finally hearing about this now.
Oh my God. Why do they keep it from us?
That's what
the worst is yet to come. All right.
I'm saying, Rob, the American people don't want just these investigations. There has to be accountability to restore the faith in the FBI and other institutions. So
no, they don't. You want to restore your faith in the FBI? Here's how I make. Here's my this will do it. Special Agents Daniel Alfin and Laura Schwarzenberger exemplified heroism today in defense of their country, Christopher Wray said. 2 FBI agents were killed and 3 others were injured in a shooting Tuesday morning as authorities were executing a search warrant at a home in Sunrise, Florida. The gunman, who was also killed, the FBI's Miami Bureau said, the gunman was also killed, the FBI's Miami Bureau said. Authorities identified him Wednesday as David Lee Huber, a 55-year-old man from the area. The incident began after 6 a.m. Authorities were at the home to serve a federal court-ordered search warrant in the case involving violent crimes against children. The FBI said Special Agents Daniel Alphen and Lars Schwarzenberger were killed. FBI Director Chris Wray said in the statement. 2 of the injured agents were taken to the hospital where they are stable. 1 of the agents was later released. 3rd did not require hospitalization. Every day, the special agents put themselves in harm's way to keep the American people safe. This guy had child porn, by the way. That's that he was producing and disseminating child porn. And they showed up to serve a warrant. This is the first FBI agents to be killed in the line of duty in years. Happened in Florida last year while they were executing a search warrant in Florida against a child pornographer. That's what they do all the time. All the fucking time. All the time. Day in, fucking day out. This bullshit at Mar-a-Lago and dealing with Trump's nonsense is not high on the fucking charts of what the FBI does day after fucking day. It's such a minor blip in what they do that in some ways that's what slow walked it, because they don't have a lot of experience having to deal with a president running off with secret documents. This is the stuff they do all the fucking time. And Kimberly and all these assholes at Newsmax and Don Jr. and Trump himself shit-talking the FBI, who the vast majority of the time are running down fucking gun runners and murderers and like serial rapists and serial killers, and like it's just fucking gross.
So when the Republicans take back the House, okay?
Yeah, they're not going to.
In November, when
no, they're not going to.
These midterm elections come
That's not happening.
to fruition, like we know they're going to.
No, you don't.
There is
And when they don't, you're going to claim that they were rigged.
going to be a serious reckoning that's going to take place, and the American people want it, and we should all demand it. It should be bipartisan demand for justice and accountability.
Yeah,
I agree. I mean, but I don't think, as much as I agree with you, I don't think Trump's going to see the inside of a jail cell. Not anytime soon, anyways.
we're talking a lot about Hunter Biden tonight as well, and we're going to talk more.
No doubt. Really? Oh, why the fuck would you be talking about him? Oh, right. Because retail sales were up and the price of gas has gone down in November.
In the next block of the show. But, I mean, just the fact that you have all of these examples, the fact that we learned this, I mean, what they did with Hunter, these same people, you see these same names like Brian Auten popping up, the same guys that worked so hard against Trump. That
is a picture of Hunter Biden. And you'll notice that much like the rest of their coverage, there is no laptop in this picture anywhere.
So hard to protect the Biden family.
Look, there's a phone, no laptop though.
In the same way, and it makes me wonder, you've got Christopher Wray, who was a Trump appointee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good point.
Who's running the FBI. At what point does he wake up? I mean, you know, why? I mean, obviously, again, Or when do you pull your head out of your ass? Say he's one of the only people that's managed to stay in that position. A Trump appointee and managing to stay in that position. You start to maybe understand how.
What do you mean? Louis DeJoy still has his fucking seat. Explain that to me.
How he got to stay in that position, because how on earth can he sit by and watch this happen?
Oh, absolutely. And where's the accountability there? How is he still holding that position? Well,
yes. Why hasn't Biden fired him without cause for political reasons? Isn't that how things are done?
Maybe exactly like you pointed out, because, this was a guy that went in essentially as a Trojan horse. He was.
Yes. You know why? Because Trump picks the best people, and it's just everybody he puts in office is a Trojan horse for the Democrats.
Not someone who was going to restore honor and dignity or integrity to the FBI.
Well, of course not. Trump appointed him. Don't be ridiculous.
It quite frankly seems he was playing for the other team, which was the team of fraud and planting evidence and collusion. Everything
Hey, fuck you.
they tried to accuse Donald Trump of, they were doing themselves.
No, they aren't. By the way, you're not taking crazy pills. Her seat where she's doing this interview is the same room we see Don Jr. doing his interview, but right over here. You see, this is the same cabinetry. This is Don Jr. does whatever the fuck this is where like that monitor where Fox News is always on is like right about here. Oh, that's it. That's
hey guys, it's Rob.
Jesus Christ, I'm not buying gold. Gold is real, buddy. For derp.